Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Danny's Detours, where we talk about anything and everything life related. Consciousness is our canvas. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Now I'm out and about again. You already know the score. Got my lad Connor with me today, and my two favourite compadres, or should I say three favourite compadres, Paddy and Willow. Yeah, welcome back to the channel, guys. It's absolutely fantastic to have you out and about again. We're just out on a little bit of a Sunday chilled one today, a little bit of a short one. Just come on just to check in with you guys, my favourite community, just to see how everyone's doing. But yeah, I'm noticing that the old sun's coming out today, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of the old sun gazing, because that's very good. I don't know if you've checked out in some of my previous videos. That is your natural health care, because looking at the sun, what it does, it releases a little chemical in your brain which naturally produces, called melanin, which helps restore the body. Because our bodies, guys, right, they are literally, we can repair every single living cell and every single living organ in our body can be repaired, but we've just been taught the wrong things. You know, like people who get cancer, you know, they get told to get chemotherapy, but they don't tell you that chemotherapy poisons the body and makes the cancer worse. But that's a different story, guys. But this is why I like to get out in nature. But nature is our natural healer, and it helps and heals us, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just going to sit down on my stoop, and we'll have a little bit of a chilled out one. But I hope everyone's doing absolutely fantastic today. You know, I understand there's a lot of bad things going on at the moment in this world, and it absolutely breaks my heart. But what if I was to say that everything is done for a reason? Because these people at the top, they do not have our best interests at heart. And I will say this to you now, right, guys, and I don't know if anyone's been witnessing this, but because of the Earth's frequency, vibration is rising, the veil is starting to thin. And when I say this, the veil, I mean that, like, a lot more people, souls, are starting to wake up and realise that the construct in which we live in, because they created a digital, I don't want to say they're trying to create a digital prison, which is a different story altogether, which will take away all your freedoms, rights and everything with this ID, but I'm not going too much into that. But it's more about, basically, you know, they're trying to stop you from waking up to your sovereign right of who you are and what you are, which is what? A free, infinite, conscious soul. And a lot of people are starting to think and realise this now, and they're thinking to themselves, well, wait a minute, because why do you think in the media, right, they put so much fear, and they control the narrative? They always have done. They've been doing this for not just hundreds of years. They've been doing this for thousands of years. Like I talk about, like with the Rothschilds when they took over. It's funny, isn't it, right, how in the early 1900s we used to have, everything was kind of like backed on a standard, whether it be silver, gold. And then the minute the Rothschilds come into power and created the central banking system, which was what? Backed by debt, which isn't even money in the first place. Then what happened? We started to get wars. We started to get, you know, people fighting against each other. But all these wars was always funded, guys, and it was always done to make people scared, or to make people fearful, or to make us feel divided, right, guys? Because, right, why do you think they're pushing all this race, religion, and all these wars now at the moment, and they're pushing all this, like, Islamophobia and racism and this and that? Listen, there's no such thing. For religion is merely a tool used to divide you and take you away from your soul essence of knowing who you are and what you are, which is basically you're a limitless, infinite intelligence. You know, we talk about AI and stuff like that, and listen, the capabilities that we possess, they put AI to shame, you know. But we've been dimmed away from this. We've been moved away from all these things to take us away from our pure soul essence of what we are, which is what? Consciousness. So, and he used this. What you've got to ask yourself, right, why do they push a certain set narrative? And they do it to indoctrinate fear, yeah? Because why do they indoctrinate fear into people? Because fear expresses what? An emotion through what? Your time, energy, and attention, whether that be in the media. And they spend hundreds of billions a year on mind control tactics like this. Because they want you what? Vibrating in a low frequency. But what if I was to say to you, you don't have to choose fear. You can choose love. You can choose community. You can choose helping one another. You can choose wisdom. You can choose knowledge. You can choose researching your own knowledge instead of the rubbish that they have put upon the people to make you believe a certain set narrative, but never even true in the first place. So I say, chuck the fear in the bin, for that is what they want. For there is nothing to fear. And let me tell you now, because I've died before, guys, I've seen the other side, and there is nothing to fear. It's nothing but peace. So we are here to become the highest, greatest version of ourselves. And we can only do that by realising who we are and what we are. So yeah, I just wanted to get it out there, this message, because listen, I understand there's a lot of people today. Listen, I don't want to go into it, because if you wanted to understand and know my opinion of what was, you know, most people would be like, oh no, you're crazy. But listen, I go off my intuition. I don't go off the media. I don't go off what the alternative media, because that's another psyop as well. I go off my intuition, which is what? My God-given right, which is my soul, which is coming from where? The spirit team, which is basically, they see and know everything. They know what's going on. So I put my trust and faith in my gut, knowing that I'll always be guided right by the highest power, which is, you know, you'll never get steered wrong, guys. You know, there's been times in the past where I didn't follow my intuition and it steered me wrong. But maybe that happened for a purpose and a reason, in order for me to learn these lessons, to become this version of myself now, so I can tell my stories. So yeah, but choose love, don't choose fear, because that's what they want. They want you divided. They want you angry at this side, that side, this flag, that flag. Listen, it's all rubbish, because if you are a pure, limitless, divine soul, why would you even be bothered? You don't represent yourself as that. They want you representing yourself, yeah, as a country or as a religion or as a person or as a football team. Listen, guys, it's bread and circuses, yeah? They're giving you bread while giving you the circus, giving you all the drama, giving you all... They're creating it all, and they're up in their ivory towers or wherever they be, laughing at you, because they're satanic people. Because they don't want you. Because the minute you wake up and realise all this is just basically a big illusion to keep you within a prison, a mental prison, and not knowing and waking up and realising that, guess what? Through your thought, feeling, which is your heart and emotion, G, which is what? The generator. O, which is what? The operator, which is your heart, which is emotion. And D, the destroyer, your body. G-O-D. You are God, because you are an expression of God. Do you actually think, right, yeah, that, look at it like this, and I'll talk about religion. Why would the Creator, yeah, put someone on this earth to suffer in blood and die on a cross because to make our for our sins. That doesn't make sense. Why would the creator would never do that? So that to me is satanical. Because look at it like this, right? Yeah, listen. I've nothing against people who follow religions, by the way. I was actually thinking Christian, but now that I've had my awakening and realised and understand the meaning behind it all, it's all used to divide and conquer and control people, because it puts them in that group over there, them in that group. But if everyone realised and understood that we all come from the same place, which is the divine, which is what I always say in my videos, then, you know, it'd be such a rude awakening for people, wouldn't it? And people would just be like, oh my God. But, you know, I've been getting these downloads, you know. I always listen to my intuition. And everything is done to divide you, make you scared, and make you fearful. But you don't have to choose fear, guys. You choose love. You choose community. You choose your inner knowing and wisdom. You choose your soul, because your soul will never steer you in the wrong direction. But anyway, I think we're going to leave it at that, guys. I've been rambling on a bit. I need to get Paddy and Willow on a little bit of a wander on these backfields. But thank you so much to all the people who have liked, commented and subscribed to my channel. If you haven't done so, I do invite you to do so. And for me, Paddy and Willow, and the big Connor, who won't stop growing, I hope you have a fantastic day. Love you loads. Peace.